Hi, hello, welcome to another episode of Man with a Mentor. I am the man, your host, Matthew Barnard, and you may wonder what a show called Man with a Mentor is about. And it's about me finding interesting people who have developed a passion for what they wanted to do with their lives, and they followed that passion into a successful career. And today I have Bethany Pelle. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. Thanks for having me, Matt.
Oh, thank you, Bethany. I'm going to read something about you now.
Okay.
Bethany Pelle is a ceramic artist based in Newport, Kentucky, and is currently developing Kyndred Clay, a community ceramic studio featuring adaptive apprenticeship pathways for low-income, neurodivergent, and chronically ill makers. All her info can be found at bethanypelle.com, kyndredcollective.com, and kindred-arts-culture.org. Did I say that right?
For the most part.
Oh, yeah. I tripped over some stuff.
It's Kyndred Clay is the apprenticeship name, not Kyndred. But
oh, right. Okay. Sorry.
Otherwise, all good.
Okay. Yeah, there was some big words in there, which makes me nervous.
Be nervous.
Right. So what's going on right now? Like, where are you at?
Yeah, so right now I am in the process of starting up a program, like you mentioned, for low-income adults who are in the Medicaid system. And there are new work requirements coming up in 2027. And so I'm trying to develop a program that will help support them in that transition, something that will train folks as artisans at an adapted pace that works for their limitations and accessibility, and that will help them meet the work requirements and keep them insured.
I feel like people that are on the neurodivergent scale are sometimes so brilliant at like odd pockets of things that they just need to discover, and then they're genius at a particular field or something that they click with, and then they're great at it. And maybe people aren't getting those opportunities out there, except for people like you. We need to find you every single one that's out there.
Yeah, I think that that there can be some real strengths that remain untapped for folks that are neurodivergent. Traditional employment pathways are often really inaccessible to us.
Right.
Keeping a hard 9 to 5, often doesn't work with, variable energy demands and, capacity to focus. Sometimes we can't, what's the word? We can't target that necessarily during typical working hours. Sometimes, it strikes in the middle of the night.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I found sometimes my best ideas are for writing or a line or changing something that wasn't working, and something I'd written would hit me at the oddest times. I'd be like, why am I getting this great idea on the treadmill? I need a piece of paper right now. But let's go back. Let's talk about when art first reared its head to you and you thought this is what I'm about. This is what I want to do. This is where I'm going to go, the track I'm going to go down.
Yeah, so I think I could maybe take it back to a couple different points in time. Growing up, I was fortunate enough to be in a family that pursued a lot of different creative interests, sometimes professionally, sometimes as hobbies. So I had exposure to art and to craft from my parents and my grandparents from a really early age. The first time I touched clay was in Ohio. My dad was a student at Miami University, and we attended a Native American festival, and some very kind old woman handed me a ball of clay and taught me how to make a pinch pot, and I was enamored. I didn't have a chance to touch clay again really until college. And yeah, I kind of took a bet on myself to take the class. At the time, I was an international studies major, which I was just hating.
Oh,
Um, I thought it was going to be like more of a cultural immersion, and instead it was all about global
oh,
business and politics
right.
and
Were there
ugh.
classes on tariffs? I'm just wondering.
Mm.
Let's not go there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exciting, Clay. I feel like it's one of the one arts where you really are working with the medium itself. Like you, unless you're finger painting or something. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
so I think that's what makes it exciting to see like this blob of clay or dirt or mud or whatever it looks like. And
Mm.
then, 2 days later it's been kilned and glazed and it's painted and it's this now and you're like, "Wait, that was a ball of
Yeah.
over here 3
There's
days ago." That's exciting.
there's so much kind of direct impact that happens in working with clay. It's like you use your hands and make a shape, and the impact of your physicality is just immediate.
Right.
And that's something that really drew me to it. I was struggling that first year in college with writing term papers, and like writing is something that has been a challenge for a long time for me that I've gotten better at over many years. But I really struggled with the amount of time and effort it took to write a term paper, and then just realizing it was gonna, rot on somebody's hard drive. Where if I was making functional
Or on
ceramics,
your own hard
yeah,
drive.
yeah, most likely that.
Right.
um,
They were probably after every semester they were like, "Delete."
yeah, they were some bad term papers. Yeah, but having, making a mug or a bowl, that could be a part of somebody's, everyday life. It could be something that they reach for first thing in the morning. And that kind of direct and indirect connection really, really drew me.
So let's jump ahead to you said that I don't know if you said where you went to college or like, and you said you were there and you weren't happy with what you started with. So when did you shift into something else?
So I did my undergrad at the university.
Uh, she hated it so much she can't say it. No, no,
I went to the University of Miami in
right,
Miami for my
right.
undergrad, and overall it was a good experience. But I'd say that the shift that I made was after my first year. So my second semester, I'd done my first class in ceramics, and
Mm.
then I found this. I went home to St. Petersburg, Florida for summer break, and I really had enjoyed ceramics so much. I was trying to find community centers, and I found this really, really amazing ceramic arts center that was based in St. Petersburg called St. Clay.
Oh.
It's called Morian Clay now,
Mm.
or Morian Center for the Arts, and yeah, I kind of jumped right in and asked if I could volunteer in exchange for studio time. And that gave me the opportunity to work with a group of young resident artists who were just starting their career. I got a lot of kind of behind the scenes exposure to what life as a young artist could be like. And I thought, hey, I could do this. And so
Right.
that's where the pivot started.
Was there ever any fear in your mind or placed there by other people that
Mhm.
what are you going to do with this, Bethany? Like, are you like, are you going to sell enough bowls to like make a living? Or did you not think about it in that way? Like I can do this, can teach, I can find the way to make my living doing this. Or were you like, oh yeah, how am I going to make this work?
You know, at the time I figured I'd find a way, I guess. I think I can recall one of my parents asking me like, "How are you gonna pay the bills?" Which is a really good question.
Right.
Yeah. but I figured I'd find a way. And so I didn't, at the time, I really didn't let that kind of detract or distract me from pursuing an interest. Uh, it hasn't always been easy to make it work as an artist. But it's taken me down some really interesting different paths. So
Right.
mostly no regrets.
So how was the transition from college to working, or did you think like I need to pursue this more, and you went like back to school right away and thought like if I learn more about art I could teach art or do more with art because I've got a better background in it now, and like what did you do?
I left school with no plan. Really no plan at all. And yeah, it stressed me out quite a bit. Then I got a call in the middle of the summer that someone from my former program had changed their mind about accepting their graduate school position.
Mm.
They'd backed out at the last minute, and so the university was looking for somebody to fill that role. So I jumped in as a grad student in printmaking,
Oh.
with the understanding that like maybe it was going to be for me, maybe it wasn't. And I left after a semester.
Oh.
Um, I think that looking back now, I can identify that I was experiencing burnout for the first time.
Mm.
And I didn't have language for it. It was the first time that I really struggled with like verbal processing.
Mm.
And yeah, looking back, it's like, oh, like I essentially was experiencing what's called selective mutism. Um,
Oh.
but it freaked me out. I thought, okay, maybe I'm depressed.
Mm.
And so, yeah, I stepped away and kind of tried to make things work for a little while, moved to Atlanta with an ex boyfriend,
Ah.
and got a job doing display coordination for Anthropology. So I was doing
Oh.
hands on making, for their store displays and window displays there. It wasn't necessarily the best fit for me, both from a work schedule and like work culture
All
standpoint.
right.
So yeah, I stayed in that position for like a year and a half, and then um, broke up with the ex,
Oh.
got an awesome got an awesome roommate, and was like, oh well, what if I invested in myself, the way that I'm investing in this company that I work for. And so at that point I
Right.
decided to go to grad school.
Uh, I want to ask you something about the current state of things in the art
Mm.
world. It seems due to current political situations that more and more universities are stepping away from the arts and the humanities and moving to other things. And if you only have a group of graduates and there's like less than 20, they just are now saying, we're canceling these programs. So do you feel like that's going to like empower and enamor like people that are in those fields to like band together? Or do you think it's going to be like a slow attrition
Mm.
away from that, and there'll be less and less people graduating? And do you think if there's less and less people graduating, maybe there'll be more opportunities for the ones that do get through? Or how's it all going to work? Because it's concerning that people are cutting these types of things.
Yeah, there's a lot there. Um,
There was like three questions in there.
yeah. Well, I mean, I'd say that like there's been a lot of pressure on the arts in academia for quite some time. And I and that certainly predates the current pressures that are being mm, oppressed.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd say that.
We're being very polite about all this. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we could throw in some words that I'd have to edit right out of here.
Yeah, we definitely could. I'm definitely restraining myself. So yeah, I mean, the pressure that I've experienced in academia, which it's been over 10 years since I've been regularly teaching at the university level. In my experience, I was working as an underpaid adjunct instructor. And so, some of my beef with academia goes back to the outsourcing of, the majority of teaching to underpaid adjuncts. And so, there's been over time a pressure of a, more kind of corporate model on education. And, that involves, getting people to do things for less money, which is where adjuncts and teaching aides and graduate assistants, are really picking up the majority of the actual teaching labor over the last probably 20 plus years. The pressure that's existing.
Don't people hate the corporate world? But we
Sure,
seem to be
yeah.
incorporating, that's not a word, but incorporating everything into that model. But most people, after they've been in the corporate world for a decade or two, are like, it's. So I don't think it's the best plan of attack for.
I would agree. I think it it functions to put money in the hands of few. And that's how it works when it's applied to academia, as well as, the rest of our culture, which, is definitely the dominant paradigm.
Right. There's another big word. You're going to learn things on this episode. Yeah. Let me ask you this and have you put your little mentoring cap on. If someone came to you and said they want to work in the arts, what would be the best piece of advice that you would give to them so they succeed?
I think the best piece of advice that I could give would be to really look within and assess what success looks like to you. Because, by many measures, I am not a successful person. But by my own, I feel like I am moving in greater and greater alignment the further along in my life and career as I go.
All right. Let me ask you this too about social media. Like, how do you use it? I mean, you've got some multiple sites going on. Like, how do you try and reach out, or are people reaching out to you? How does it all work? And I feel like everybody's like, oh, yes, I use social media. But then everyone has that face of like, but I hate it and I don't know how to work it. And I don't know how to get my SEO up in the top 2% of the list of things that come up when they type in their optimization for what I'm typing in to find your sites and your name. Like, it's a whole algorithm of weirdness that I think a lot of people struggle with. And that's why there's experts in it. But, I don't know how you figure it out. If anyone does, help me.
I'm not the person to help you.
Right.
My approach has been to really withdraw from social media. I've maintained a website, personal website over the years for my artwork, and I've started a couple of websites for projects that I've got going and programs. And I've just started an Instagram again for the Kyndred Clay apprenticeship. And I haven't posted anything. I've reposted. I've got I feel all kinds of ways about it. And yeah,
Yeah.
it gives me the ick. And at the same time, as I've dipped a toe back in, it's like, oh, I found out about interesting and relevant grants that I wouldn't have found out about otherwise. And,
All right.
it has given me the opportunity to see, relevant things that are happening around town. So I haven't really, I'm much
Yeah.
more old school in
Right.
my, I guess, marketing tendencies, which I love a good flyer at a coffee shop or at the library, but
Right.
I don't know
Yeah.
that it's going to cut it.
Do you want to say again where people can find you?
Yeah, sure. So you can find my work, the Kyndred Clay apprenticeship program at Kyndred, which is KY, like Kentucky,
Mm.
NDRED arts-culture.org,
Right.
which is a mouthful. Or you can find us at, you might not see much content, but you can find us at Kyndred, KYNDRED _clay on Instagram.
All right. And your personal site?
Yeah, my personal site is Bethany Pelle. One word, Pelle is PELLE.com.
All right. Thank you, Bethany.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you so much, Matt. This has
Oh,
been so much fun.
oh, yay. I'm glad. But I hope people have fun, or they're lying to me. All right. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Man with a Mentor. Feel free to tell others and share on stuff like Instagram. I think, is that a thing? Anyway, who knows? Because we're a social media, like, not that great at it. But you can be great at it and tell everybody else that you know and love to watch Man with a Mentor. Thank you. Thank you, Bethany.
Yeah.
Bye.